Welcome to this explainer. Today we're taking on a massive architectural shift in software. We're moving away from standard databases that just kind of lazily overwrite your data, and we're looking at a sophisticated system that guarantees absolute, undeniable data auditability. If you've ever wondered how huge platforms keep track of complex histories, handle astronomical scale, and do it all without losing their grip on reality, well, you are definitely in the right place. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the problem with our current state. Second, event sourcing and immutable history. Third, CQRS and splitting the workload. Fourth, projections, or folding the stream. Fifth, real-world use cases. And finally, number 6, trade-offs and final takeaways. Let's just jump right in.
Section 1. The problem with current state, overwriting history.
So, ask yourself this. When you update a user's status to active in a typical database, what actually happens to the knowledge of their previous state? Think about it. When you execute an update command to change pending to active, that old information just vanishes. Poof! Gone forever. Most standard databases are incredibly myopic. They only care about what the world looks like right now, at this exact millisecond. But by doing that, they completely destroy the story of how we actually got here. You lose the context. You lose the intent. I mean, did the user upgrade on their own? Did a customer service rep force the change? You simply don't know, because the history has literally been erased.
A standard database only stores the current state. It overwrites data and, as we just talked about, destroys history. Contrast that with an event store. An event store captures everything that ever happened as a permanent, immutable record. Immutable meaning it can never, ever be changed or deleted. It acts as a list of absolute, undeniable facts that provides complete 100% auditability. Think of it like a flight data recorder, but for your business logic. It doesn't just tell you where the plane is right now. It records every single tiny adjustment that brought the plane to its current altitude.
Section 2. Event Sourcing, Immutable History.
So what exactly is event sourcing? At its core, it's an architecture that uses an append-only event store as your single source of truth. Notice that phrase, append-only. Imagine building a system where there's simply no update button and absolutely no delete button. You never store the current state directly. Instead, you maintain an ongoing, unchangeable log of facts. To figure out your current state, you just replay that history of events right from the very beginning.
It's honestly exactly like reading a bank ledger. At time 1, a subscription is created. At time 2, a payment is captured. At time 3, the subscription is activated. To know the user's status at time 3, you don't just look up a single static column in a table. You reconstruct reality by replaying this exact sequence of historical events. You know what happened, you know the exact order it happened in, and you know the precise business intent behind every single change. It is basically foolproof accounting for your application's data.
Section 3. CQRS, splitting the workload. Now, storing all these events is incredibly powerful, right? But it raises a massive operational question. Searching through millions of historical events every single time a user loads a web page just isn't going to work. It'd be way too slow. So how do we stay fast? The answer lies in CQRS, Command Query Responsibility Segregation. This pattern completely separates your command side, which validates rules and executes state changes, from your query side, which serves up highly optimized read views. In most applications, the workload is completely tangled up, but think about it. Reads and writes have entirely different life cycles. Users might read a piece of data 1,000 times for every one time they actually modify it. CQRS embraces this reality. You are splitting the write workload from the read workload so they can be optimized, secured, and scaled entirely independently of one another. It's a total game changer.
Section 4. Projections, folding the stream.
Okay, so if our writes are just appending events to an endless log, and our reads are happening in an entirely separate space, how do we actually bridge that gap? We bridge it using projections. Here's the life cycle. Step 1, we read the immutable event from our append-only log. Step 2, we consume those domain events and fold them into a specific read view. Actually, you can think of folding a bit like origami. You take this long, flat sheet of historical events and you fold it into a highly specific shape that is instantly useful for a particular database query, like a pre-calculated dashboard summary, for instance. Finally, step 3, we serve our lightning-fast queries directly from that new view. The true magic here? Because you have the full event history safely stored forever, you can build brand new read models at any time in the future simply by replaying history through a new folding function. It's incredibly flexible.
Section 5. Real-world use cases, applying the pattern.
Let's be honest, you really don't need this level of architectural overhead for a simple internal tool where history doesn't matter.
But this architecture absolutely thrives in domains where history is critical to the business. Financial ledgers are a perfect fit. Every transaction is a durable fact, and your current bank balance is nothing more than a replay of every credit and debit you've ever made. Consider billing and subscriptions. If there's a complex customer dispute, Event Sourcing gives you an undeniable audit trail to reconstruct their exact account state on any specific day in the past. Or think about watch history on a streaming platform, where tracking every single play, pause, and rewind event fuels really deep recommendation analytics. Even complex entitlement systems leverage this heavily, needing to know exactly when digital access was granted, altered, or revoked.
Section 6. Trade-offs and final takeaways, the reality.
Before you rush out to completely rewrite your entire system, we really have to be brutally honest about the complexities here. Yes, you gain incredible benefits like decoupled scaling and temporal debugging. That's literally the superpower to step back in time through your data to see exactly what happened on a Tuesday 3 years ago. But there is a cost. Implementation complexity is undeniably high. Evolving your event schemas as your business changes is notoriously tricky, precisely because old events are immutable and cannot be rewritten. You also have to accept that your read models are eventually consistent. That just means there might be a few milliseconds of delay between a write hitting the event log and that data actually appearing in a read query. Fundamentally, you are taking on the operational and cognitive burden of maintaining two separate models instead of one simple database.
Furthermore, replaying massive event histories for complex items can get painfully slow. Imagine an account with millions of tiny transactions. To fix this, you use snapshots. A snapshot periodically stores a computed state. Think of it exactly like a save point in a video game. When you boot up a game, you don't have to replay every single level from the beginning of time just to get back to where you were, right? You just load the latest save point. In event sourcing, you load the snapshot, and then you only replay the dozen or so events that happened since that snapshot was taken. It is an absolutely essential optimization to keep your state reconstruction fast.
So the crucial takeaway is this. Shifting to an event-sourced and CQRS architecture grants you profound temporal visibility and decoupled scaling. It gives you true time travel for your data and the total freedom to scale your reads and your writes entirely on their own terms. It's powerful, it requires a major mindset shift, for sure, but for the right domain, it is absolutely transformative.
I want to leave you with this final thought. When you look at your standard database tomorrow, ask yourself, is every simple overwrite actually destroying valuable business history that you might desperately need later? Is your current architecture destroying its own history? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.